Let me show you how you can render multiple cameras in Blender. Please subscribe, like, comment and share, and let's cook.
So here is a scene from one of my films. I'm going to put a card up here to see the film if you haven't. In this scene, one thing interesting about this technique is that you can create your own cut here, your camera cut down here. In Blender, you don't need to go to any editing software to do that. You can have up to 10, I don't know how many cameras you want to use in your scene. You can render everything out using this technique. So now you should have your timeline here. Then under marker, you are going to see bind camera to markers. And here is the command key, Ctrl B. So now let's get into business. I have 3 cameras here. Let me show you to the camera view. I think this is the medium shot, this is the close shot, and this is my wide shot. You can just play with anyone. So I'm just going to start with the wide shot here. I'm going to, so for you need to make sure that your camera is active. You need to click this part in your outliner to make sure your camera is active. That's why you can see me. I know if you are a pro already, you know this. I'm just saying this because of any beginners watching. You click this icon, the camera icon here, to make it faster, because you might have many cameras in your scene. Now you just need to come here and click your cameras, and that will make things faster. So let's start with the wide shot. I'm going to click activate the camera here and click Ctrl B. If you notice, the name of the camera is highlighted down here. It wasn't there before. Let me undo so you can see that there is nothing down there before until I did the Ctrl B. Let's get it back there. One thing that you need to know is when you use this bind camera to markers, which is Ctrl B, anything ahead of it is what is going to be showing in the camera scene, in the camera view. I mean, let's get another shot, another angle, which is, let's get the close-up shot here. Ctrl B. You notice that you can see the jump, you can see the cut. The cut is from the wide view to the close-up. Now let us add the medium shot. Let's come to frame 500 here. You cannot see 500 here. Sorry, not 50, 500. And activate your camera. So that will be camera 001, Ctrl B. Like I said, anything ahead of this marker is what is going to show your camera view. So put that in mind, that is important. We've achieved 2 things here now, which is creating your camera cut and also about to render out multiple cameras at once. Every camera you've marked under here, underneath your timeline, are going to be what is going to be rendered when you actually rendered out this scene. So I'm going to render this scene in the clay render so we can see it faster. I'm going to render it right here. So let me just use let me quickly set up this name of my film, Train of Thoughts. That's my so let us render it, and you are going to see that. I think let us stop the camera cut at 700 so you can see what we've achieved. Viewport, render animation. So this is I usually use this render style when I'm planning shot and I want to see my timing in real time, because sometimes a scene might be too heavy for you to play in real time, even if you are using Eevee, you know. And so I'll just render it. This makes things faster, and that's that. Don't mind this guy coming from Benin. This is just in the actual scene you won't see all this, because this is just an example. I just had to use the scene for this tutorial. So I'm going to fast forward this now and let us jump few minutes into the future. So now let us see the render and let us see the camera cut and the multiple camera render. As you can see, you are going to see the cut now, and that also means you rendered out multiple camera. You can see this is the close-up shot, and the last one is the medium shot. So you achieved using this technique. Doing this technique, you are going to achieve 2 things. you are killing two birds with one stone. And yeah, so that's that. Another thing I need to add before the end of this is that you can actually, it doesn't mean that you have to create 50 cameras or 1000 cameras in a scene to achieve. So now I can use camera one here. I can bring this camera because I can have a scene where I want to manage, because I don't want too much cameras in my scene. I only use camera 1 here. This means selecting camera 1, and I'm going to Control B. Sorry. And okay, thank God I made this mistake here, right now. If you're using Control B here in the scene, this is another feature here. It won't work. Your mouse should be hovering over the timeline for it to work. Control B. In case you didn't get that, Control B. Now you can see camera 1 here. Your mouse needs to be here for it to work. This is camera 2, camera 1. So you can really scatter your camera. You can really do crazy stuff here. I can bring camera 2 here. I can bring camera. Yeah, I can bring camera 1 back. So that's why I said you can use as many cameras as you want through this marker, and all these cameras here are going to be rendered as you arranged them. So that is the sweetest thing about this. This is how I have been doing my short films. This is how I've been rendering stuff for years now. Since I got to know about it, it's been a lifesaver, you know. Because initially, before, what I used to do is I'm going to render this entire scene from one camera angle, go back to render the second camera, go back to render the third camera, then I'll go into an editing software to start cutting it into the way I wanted them. And that is actually double work for me. So since the day I found this thing, I actually never went back doing that in an editing software. You know, I can also composite my stuff here. So Blender is a one-man studio dream. That is Blender. So I make all my cuts here, and it's actually fun also, because imagine you doing your storyboarding or animatics, and you can have your camera. So it means you can retain your camera cut for your animatics and use it in your actual scene. So you don't need to move anything. All your camera cuts are here, and when you actually finish your animation, you can use that same camera cut for the final render, and everything is going to match perfectly, which is going to be dope for pre-production and when you're in production. So you see, and I think that's that. Remember, make sure the mouse is on the timeline for it to work, and you can usually come here to do this, but I think Control B is faster. Make sure you click the camera. That is how the marker is going to detect the camera you are clicking. And yeah, that's that. So have fun with this. You can tag me in anything you create with this. Let me see. So now I know there are some people who really love crazy camera cuts, and this is going to be it is going to be fun for them. So you can do a lot of crazy stuff right here in your timeline. You can do crazy stuff with your camera in your timeline. So that's that for this tutorial.
And this is the end of the video, and I'm going to say again, please subscribe. You can see this is still a baby channel. I really need to hit that 1K sub before the end of the year, and you can make it happen. And if you want to support me further, check the link in my description to my stores, my Gumroad store and Revolution store. Revolution store has a character I just dropped called Zane. My Gumroad store, there are some Blender files there to a file from my previous tutorial. If you are into Jiggle physics, that is the best tutorial for you. See you in the next video.